sakes.
For sure. So I'm
All
gonna
right.
get started now. All right, Sable. How long have you played Arma for, buddy?
I've got like 1,500. Let me go on yelling. Like 1,500 hours.
Dope. So yeah, you're probably pretty familiar with Arma. Have you used Ace 3 before?
Yes,
Okay, awesome. Have you joined a Star Sim before?
sort of.
What do you mean by sort of?
I joined the 212th, and then I never went to a basic as they had a limit of 6 people, and I wasn't going to show up 3 hours early to wait for it.
Okay. That's yeah. Okay. Well, at least we're different. So you're here. Uh, are you ready to renounce your faith and worship Holy Dupontis?
I'm normally not here for BCTs, so this doesn't. No, it's normally not awkward.
There it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
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 So when we're going over this BCT, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Don't feel like we're gonna snub you right away. Just like I said, any questions you have this entire BCT, you're free to ask them. Before we get started, information terminal. That's usually where all our important stuff's at, such as rank structure, roster, schedule, so you know when our ops are. Even though you probably were told that they're on the weekends and Wednesday. So yeah, I am Revenant. I am one of the platoon medics in this unit currently. This is Glizzy. Glizzy, do you want to introduce yourself?
What's up? I'm Glizzy. I'm built different. Welcome to the unit.
Fair.
Okay, to get started, we're gonna keybind your grenade. We're gonna make it double tap G because we don't want you yeeting grenades on accident. Because I don't know if you have this problem. I have fat fingers, so sometimes I accidentally push shit. So yeah. So what you're gonna do is go to you're gonna push escape, go to controls, then you want to go to weapons, and go scroll down to where it says throw, and you just want to make that double tap G or anything that you want to make that's comfortable for you, as long as you can accidentally press it in an op and accidentally frag a bunch of friendlies.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, then let me know when you're done with that.
We're good to go. That's already bound.
Okay, cool. In common, if you go to where it says show with little uh, two dots, I forgot what the hell that's called. You
The
could,
tilde?
yeah, 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 I think. You switch back to common, and then you want to go to last help, and you want to make sure that's turned off, which is right under the close context menu and right above the engine on off.
Let's see. There we go. Because that's where my ace medical is going to go, I'm guessing.
Yep. So let me know when you're done with that.
Yep, that's good to go.
Okay, then real quick, we'll do custom controls. Use action one. You want to bound that to whatever key is comfortable for you. That's your advanced movement. So if you want to like climb a fence or anything, that's what that key is going to be.
Good old space bar.
Zeus, go to Zeus for me. Just make sure your Zeus is double tap Y so you don't accidentally ping in the middle of an op.
Yep.
And
That is
after
good.
you're done with that, go to multiplayer for me, and make sure your push to talk is unbind because you don't want to push to talk when we're in TeamSpeak.
Okay.
Then, lastly, I'm gonna go to you want to go to configure add-ons at the bottom right of your screen. Make sure you go to Ace Common, and at the very bottom you're gonna see Open Medical Menu. Being a medic, I like to preach make that H, but there's been people in the past who've bounded that to something else. So that's just a
Yeah.
heads up.
Mine's always been on H.
Okay, dope. Do you want Glizzy to take the next half of this, dupe, or
No. Keep going.
okay? So after that, you're gonna optimize your Ace Medical menu. So I believe this is. Oh no, you're gonna push OK at the bottom right. Then you want to go to add-on options. Then at the very top, you want to click the scroll down menu. You want to go to Ace Interaction menu. And if you scroll down, you want to make sure The always display cursor for interaction is white boxed inside. Keep cursor center. Don't check that in. Display interaction menus as lists. You want to make sure that's checked in. And I usually have my interaction menu background disabled. Then for self, right underneath that, you just want to copy the same settings. And if you're confused about any of that, let's let me know and I'll repeat it.
Nope, that's all good to go.
Okay, and then in the same add-on menu, you want to go to Ace Quick Mount, and you want to make sure the prioritized seat is on the passenger. So whenever we keybind the Ace Quick Mount for you, you go to a passenger role and not a driver role or a gunner role.
Was this in the controls or the add-ons?
Add-ons.
Add-ons. Okay,
Yes.
perfect. Ace interaction.
Ace Quick Mount is what.
Quick mount. There we
yes.
go. Enable, prioritize, passenger.
Yep. Then we're gonna go back to controls and we're gonna get that keybind. So you want to go to controls, go to configure add-ons, and then you're gonna go to Ace Movement and Vehicle Quick Mount is there. I keybind it to 5. Everyone's different though. I know some people have a lot of mouse buttons, so they just keybind it to something that's comfortable for them. But I would recommend 5.
Yeah, I'll use 5.
Okay. Then, if this is optional, we could go over customizing your compass if you'd like. But if not, we don't really have to
Let's
go over that.
kind of go over that briefly because I've never really messed with that in all my
Okay.
time of Arma.
That's not a problem. You want to go back to add-ons? Not controls, just the add-on. Then you want to go to DUI quad radar indicators. And oh wait, not indicators. I lied. You want to go to radar,
Okay.
I believe. Let me make sure before I start saying stuff.
No, you're right.
Oh, I'm right. Okay, yeah. Compass style. There's various compass styles. The ones that we recommend are the Xeno variants. So, yeah. Other than that, you can kind of mess around with the compass range, the size, refresh rate. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. So I'm not sure. Have mine just a standard. I don't really mess with the compass that much, but yeah, you could also increase the scaling. So if you want a big old compass at the bottom of your screen, you could increase that. So yeah, this is pretty much just what you want to do with your compass.
Yeah, I'm gonna screw around with this later. There's so many options.
Yeah, DUI really allows us to do quite a few extra things with that information on the bottom when you're in a group with someone that starts to appear.
Yeah, I've always just used default DUI. I've never messed with it. I've never even thought about trying to mess with it.
But yeah, the next section is movement. Do you want me to pass it on to Glizzy now?
Yeah, Glizzy, you're up, brother.
All right, all right. All right, so for movement, we're going to go over pretty much the stances and the stances within those stances. So obviously, you have standing, you have crouch, and you have prone, which are the main 3. But within those, there are other ones. So if you hit control, and if you were to hit S, notice how you squat down. Press it again, now you're kneeling. Press it again, you're getting lower. It just constantly keeps going down. You can be a French girl, you can go back and do whatever. This is really just for, I guess, if you're trying to look through a certain crack, or if you're peeking over certain covers, that kind of stuff. There's also leaning. This is an alternate typing compared to E and Q. So if you prefer this over the other one, there's that. Yeah, you already know about this. Pretty much the same thing, just you're doing it a different way. Really it. Some ops, we use what's called combat pace. So you hit Control C while you have your weapon out. Start walking like this. Same thing. If you're aiming, you do it. You'll walk with your weapon ready, and then you just hit Control C to get out of it. Sometimes it will light out though.
Sometimes
so
the default's double tap C as well. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
what my
double tap
defaults.
C works as well.
yeah, it's a keybind. So if you ever wanted to change it, you could. But Some people's defaults to Control C, and some people's defaults to double tap. I don't know why it does that different defaults for different people, but whatever.
Yeah, that is odd.
Uh, for me personally, I've experienced it's more or less a glitch where I didn't put myself into it anyway. So if I don't have my weapon out, I'll walk. Just fixing this, just bring out your weapon and put it away again. So I'll just bring it out, hit Control C or double tap C, and it'll fix it for you. Obviously, along with enhanced movement, we've got the default of vaulting. So if for some reason your enhanced movement doesn't want to work, pretty much get you over any fence, and then other than that, it's useless. And then we got to go over grappling. So come over this way for me.
Grappling. This sounds fun.
Grappling. Ooh. So what
It's
you're gonna
buggy
do
as hell, so just be
is you want to
careful while
look
doing it.
up there, and you just kind of want to move
Gotta have your
right where
weapon
I'm
out.
standing.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have it out, and it works.
It works without your weapon out? What?
Yeah. So like right now where I'm looking right under that window. I can shift to it. That one. That's where I'm looking. You'll get a thing that says climb up, and it'll show the structure. Just click it with your middle mouse. It'll bring you up like this. Right?
Oh.
There you go. And then you just hold W. And
You
then
can
will
you can
up as
shoot
well.
from there as well. So you get about halfway up, you decide you want to start shooting. You can do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's very important to not use your advanced movement key at the top of all this.
Yes.
It'll show back up on the middle mouse button once you get up to the top, and it's a
I'm
little
telling you, you're
finicky
right.
That's a little buggy.
on
Yeah,
these
don't
towers. It works a lot better
use-
on like buildings and stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely you're gonna have to look for the sweet spot.
And if you
Especially on this
swing
thing.
into like this bar, it's gonna cut you off. So you gotta think
Yeah,
about that
it's
as well.
definitely buggy. But I looked right about it, and you just want to walk forward once you have it, and just hold W.
Yeah, there you go.
Just to cut you off. There
This
you
is
go.
the coolest shit ever.
And so
Yeah.
you
So then
you can
once you
shoot.
get to the top,
Yeah, from there is really nice too.
yeah,
Pull your weapon out and start firing and stuff. But once
Yeah.
you get all the way to the top, the middle mouse button will give you an option to climb to the top, and you want to make
Yeah.
sure you press that.
there
If
you
you
go.
press anything else, you're gonna have a really bad day.
And
Yeah, I
obviously,
know how to
you want to
repel, but I never
look
knew
down
about
at the
grapple.
ledge,
Yeah,
and
repel.
then it'll also repel, and it'll do the same exact thing. You can detach yourself if you're just trying to get down in a hurry, but just be careful because you can injure your legs and all that stuff. So if I wanted to detach here, I could. I have to wait for the last 2 seconds and all that. So
Yeah,
I mean,
we had.
it's finicky, but it works. So,
Yeah, that's not in obviously base armor. We've got it script bound to the weapons, so
and
works out
then
pretty nice.
enhanced movement, I've already bound it. This is like for going over walls and stuff like that. Just oh, what am I doing, bro? Something's happening. Some menu just popped up. I don't know. All right, that's whatever. But yeah, so you have it bound to. If it's too high for you to vault over, you can just enhance movement over it, make your life 10 times easier. Or if you need to, you can grapple. There you go. That's the end of the movement section. Deponis, do you want me to pass off to Revenant for
Yeah, Rev, go ahead.
weapon familiarization?
Okay, so we have a shooting range down that way, so we're gonna go over there.
Now you're not gonna be able to hit jack crap either. It's gonna be great.
Cause it's
Because
sprint.
stamina.
So we allow the 50% reduced weapon slay if you want to use it. I mean, I don't use it because I think it's kind of cheesy, but I know a lot of our guys do, especially the guys who run marksman all the time.
So
Oh.
go ahead. You could go ahead and shoot any target for now. Just get yourself familiar with your weapon. It has two fire modes as a burst fire and it has a single fire. I prefer the single fire personally, but the burst fire is pretty good.
You use it in the 3AS 15A?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't hear him
Yeah.
shooting. That's weird.
Yeah,
It glitches out like
it's one of
that.
those sound bugs. Every once in a while happens.
There's also a scope on it if you control right click.
Yeah, you obviously know how to rest your weapon. If you walk over something and push C, you can like deploy a bipod and you can rest it on an item. Also, if you want to use a scope, you could hold left control and right click and there's a scope for that rifle. So
Also a shortcut on if you have a numpad, it's that little backslash on the numpad.
Ah.
Know that.
There you go. More you know, boys.
yeah, I don't have a
Yeah,
numpad.
thank you, dude.
Yeah. Now we're gonna do a little mini game, I guess you could say, just to see how familiar you are with shooting. I'm gonna set up a little timer. You have 15 seconds to shoot as many targets as you want. Then you want your goal is to hit 10. So let me get that set up real quick. And
Glizzy's gonna count. He can't count very well, so you know he might shortchange you a little bit.
Yeah, I can't
I'll just
barely
make sure
get
to hit
past two and a
extra.
half, dude. That's
I
on a
got my
good day.
stopwatch. So ready, set, go.
God.
All right, that's good. You got 14. Pretty good. In your kit, you should have two types of grenades. You should have white smoke grenades, and you should have CTBI, which is our grenades. It's actually a little tube on the back of a clone trooper's belt. If you want to go over to these sandbags over here, so you don't accidentally hit the roof with the grenade, that'd be a lot better. So the way that you cycle through grenades is Control G. It cycles through the two grenades you have. If you have multiple grenades, like I'm a medic, so I usually have white and purple smoke because purple is what designates mask hazards. I have to. That's how I cycle through them. You could double tap G, and they'll just basically dummy through them. If you want to be a little bit more precise, you could hit Shift G, and a little arc will come up. If you scroll up, it's more of a lob, so it'd be like a close range grenade. So this is probably better for when you're breaching a building or something. If you scroll down, the arc goes farther. That's probably more of like I'm gonna throw a grenade at a bunker from a distance. So that's how you do that. You can also cook a grenade if you click the center mouse button. So if you want to do some suicide stuff, I guess you could click that. A lot of people like to run with white smoke, and they'll cook the white smoke grenade in their hand, so they'll be running with smoke for some reason.
That's a classic.
Yeah, cover
Yeah.
the people behind you at least.
Yeah. So yeah, if you want, you could throw your CTBI somewhere in between those targets.
Nice.
Awesome. Yep.
That's a lot of dead bugs.
A lot of shrapnel is what it is.
Yep. So
Mhm.
now we're gonna make our way to the CIS assets.
The clankers.
Yes. So obviously, you probably, if you're a huge Star Wars fan, you know what those are. Those are HMPs. If you see those, you're probably gonna have a bad day. They can paradrop droids in our mod, and they also just provide normal air support. That big thing there is an MTT. It's a droid transport. They're more used as tanks. We don't really have them drop off droids into an AO.
Says who?
We haven't done it yet.
Wait,
Well, I
can you
did it.
drive that bad boy?
I did
Did
it
you do that?
today.
Oh, I crashed mid-op, so.
Yeah, I did today. So
Can
they
you drive that?
this one you can. This one doesn't deploy. Some of the other models do. I think they're still working on this one. Actually, I'm gonna check. Let me in.
That's a big fucking gun.
Oh, it does deploy. That's nice.
I was trying to get to deploy yesterday.
Yeah, you just got to be in the driver's seat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I
So,
guess you can deploy droids off of it.
well, I just mashed that button and then spawn a bunch of white smoke and then spawn the droids inside the smoke because it doesn't actually deploy droids. So that's a big
But
sad.
in
I guess
about a week
it
or
would if
two.
you used the spawn module. I bet.
Yeah. This is a AAT. Obviously, that's a basic droid tank. You'll see numerous of these over the Like I guess yeah, you'll see a bunch of these over the time you're here with us.
We're fixing to
That's a
get the 501st assets back, and so your butt will pucker a lot more when you see one of those coming.
Yeah.
This one's just, it's deadly, but it's not too deadly.
That's a vulture droid. You won't see a lot of these unless they're doing a cast. They're kind of bugged right now, so they usually like to fly to the ground. So the only time you'll ever really see them is when they're just gonna do a gun run. Moving on to the droids. This little ball turret here is an asshole. So that's one of the things you'll see. The Decas, we used to have droidicas, but they aren't in our Zeus module for some reason anymore. So these are kind of what are replacing them.
The
as of
new
now.
the new mod that we're fixing to have when we get the new server, we'll have them back though. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, this is just a little turret replacement. Obviously, this is a BX. If you're a big Star Wars fan, if you see these guys, they're usually a little bit harder to kill because they're better versions of the normal B1s.
Yeah, weak
This-
spot is on the head there for them. If you shoot them in the chest, it takes forever. So
Yeah. This is just a normal forest droid. You'll see a lot of these sometimes come out of tanks as well. Red droid, usually probably just a different variant. Blue droid's usually a pilot. This here is always a droid you want to type kind of capture. They're like command droids, so make sure you don't kill those. These guys are assholes. They shoot grenade launchers at you, and they're basically a walking mortar. They can shoot you from one click away, according to one of the ops we had last week. So just be advised about that.
Fucking
are-
asshole.
Yeah, these are just more assets.
it's a shotgun variant right here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a
shotgun
shotgun variant.
This one
A
is
saboteur.
yeah, Saboteur. This is a sniper. They're assholes too. These droids, once you get AT called, are going to be your favorite because we usually battle acquisition their
Mm-hmm.
rockets if you have the AT call, and their rockets are amazing. So, yeah, rocket droid. This is a heavy blaster B1. They're like, we don't have working Z6 droids that are usable at this time, I believe. So that's usually what the heavy B1 is. Another rocket droid, and then just the normal B1. Then moving on over here.
Glizzy, take the Republic side.
All right. All right. So this big thing is a juggernaut, bro. Broken. Not really, but like it's pretty cool. I've only seen it once. I haven't seen it used in any ops, or at least it was, and it got blown up when Munificence pulled
Yeah,
up.
but we got shit on by
there's
like
that.
15 droid
Yeah.
vehicles.
Kind of crazy, yeah. But there's that. There's a hover tank, dude. This thing's pretty cool. 90% of these, if you want to do vehicles, you gotta go engineer, if I'm not mistaken.
Or at least
So
get the qual.
if you're into like this stuff, yeah, or at least get the qual. I mean, I've only used my qual once, but if you're in the armor and stuff, there's that. This is what you're gonna be seeing 90% of the time. This isn't how we insert all that good stuff. It's just a lat, usual. There's a whole bunch of cool dudes. There's a marshal. There's a lieutenant and a medic.
Yeah, this is our clone alliance. These are other units of our alliance, but that's the 327th. This is Goat Division. You see them a lot, and that's the 985th.
Oh, bro, I wasn't told that. My bad. I thought you just put them out so you knows what they look like.
Nah,
No,
this
no.
just these are the guys we hang out with the most. Now, we do join ops with other people, but these are the main three. So
My bad. I didn't mean to graze over them like
No,
that.
you're fine.
they're disrespecting.
I just thought you put them there so you knew what like different like uniforms. I was like, bro, he looks like Ghost Division, but it's all good. All right, these are speeder bikes. You know, I've only seen ARF use them, but that's pretty much what they use for recon, that kind of stuff. I have not seen this thing used at all, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what it's called.
The guns
but,
are broken. It's a shuttle. It's one of the shuttle
Yeah.
classes. I don't remember which one.
Yeah, I don't know, but
We have a pseudo work in progress mod, which is what your rifle is. It's in 3AS, and so they have some nice assets like this that are in the mod that halfway work but halfway don't. And so you'll see some stuff like that. Like this guy down there, he's another I work half the time kind of guy. So
Yeah.
Go figure.
this is a Herc 170. It's a fixed wing for pilots. I haven't seen it used in any ops, but hopefully they get used soon.
yeah, we just got a lot of these things. What, like 2 weeks ago? So
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's that.
You can
This
deploy the
is-
leg from outside of it. Okay, whatever.
Yeah. Be honest, I don't know what this is called either, but I haven't seen it used because it's out. So
Yeah, it'll flip over here in a second. It'd be great.
yeah. I don't know.
Huh?
Looks
Maybe
hella
not.
wonky, but
It's hanging out today.
there's RTT. We've seen more of these, more uses for these at least in the last ops. They're just troop transport, to be honest. Really, really nice though. And is a medic version if you want to be medical and use that kind of stuff. I don't know if this is like an ATT on crack or whatever this is. I
It's
don't
a
know what it's
UT.
called.
It's a UTAT.
Hey, so I'm gonna be honest, don't know anything about this. So if anybody else wants to butt in and explain, because I wasn't told
It's just
anything
another
about this
variant of
vehicle.
the troop transport. If you get inside it, it's a cool interior. Like, I think it holds up to 40 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
yeah, just another way for us to move. If we want to get inserted via UTAT, we could use this. We haven't really found a way to use this properly in the op yet because its turrets are fucking overpowered. So we don't want to make it too easy for.
It's all ATTE turrets on the 3 sides, and then it's got like 4 flat cannons on the back, so it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
Stupid OP.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much with our assets as of now. We're like Dupont has said, we are going to be changing here in a week or two, so there'll be a lot more, so like B2s, Decas, all that good stuff. So,
Spider droids, the big and small variants, will be here. It'll be nice.
You guys are gonna get the swap mod.
We're putting it. We had it before, but swap is just a garbage on like servers, and so we kind of moved away from it because you really need the 501st Ox mod to make swap work, and we couldn't get in that mod Discord. But since they've been more upfront with their updates and things like that, it would just break in a lot of the stuff that we used. But now our
Yeah.
armor and weapons aren't in there with them. We're using another mod for armor and weapons, so it works out. We're just getting tired of not having assets because pretty much all we had was the H&P, the AAT, all those B1s, and a LAT. So everything else came from the 3AS mod. So you can kind of see we just added a lot of this the fancy toys, I guess you could
Yeah.
say.
Well, I don't know half of it.
So and then the swap mod, like we said, just adds a little bit more. So we're bringing that back because we actually just built our own server. We're just doing some final testing before we roll it out for everybody. So
Are you guys getting the 501st stuff too?
yeah, we're bringing the 501st mod back. So
I was gonna say I have all of that.
yeah, there you go.
yeah,
You'll be
there
a,
you go. You
Yeah,
know how
you're
to
be
use
chilling
it.
then.
be ready to roll then.
Uh,
But yeah,
the
that
next is
that'll be on the
medical, so I don't
new
know if we're
that'll be on the new server. So yeah, we're gonna give you a medical glizzy because we know Rev knows it. So
Oh, bruh. All right. Oh, let me try not to disappoint Revenant now. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is we're just gonna open up your medical menu. So whatever key you binded that to, go ahead and press it, and you will get up your medical menu. You'll see examining treatment status overview. In the bottom left, you'll see activity log, and then in the bottom right, you'll see quick view. So as you can see, you can select multiple parts of the body, and once you click those parts, certain options will happen. So if I click the chest, I lose the medication option, but if I were to click the arm, I would get that, and I also lose the tourniquet and splint options. So just a heads up for that.
can't
Uh,
tourniquet your head as much as you want to sometimes.
Yeah, you
Needed
can't
it.
tourniquet your head, can't tourniquet your chest. So if all your like body parts are hit, tourniquet all your limbs and then focus on your chest and your head, or tourniquet the limbs that are hit
Yep.
and then
sounds about right.
focus. So the bandages that we use are packing, elastic, and quick clot. Elastic is the best when it comes to evulsions, but it's also the least durable, so they will open up the fastest. Packing is more or less, I use them for velocity wounds, and that's kind of where they excel. And I want to say they're the second most durable.
Yeah, they have like a 6 to 8 minute timer on them, so it's random. It just depends how much you're moving, I believe. And
Yeah.
after 6 to 8 minutes, those bandages will fall off and your wounds will reopen.
And then after that, we have Clot, which is the most durable. It's more or less just for like cuts and stuff like that. Nothing
Or if
really
you're
like
not,
for like minor injuries.
or if you're not gonna see your medic for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too helps with bleeding.
What I like to do when I wasn't a medic, before I became a medic, I would just carry some of those, and they last up to 30 to an hour.
Yeah, I think
Something
45 is the
insane.
most I've had mine go, but yeah.
So there's
Yeah.
been an op where I didn't even get to stitch the whole op because quick clots kept me going. So yeah, you want to
Yeah.
pop those whenever you're not around a medic, so you don't have to be constantly applying bandages to yourself.
Yeah, they're definitely a lifesaver. Next up, we have tourniquets. So, if you were to, let's say, you were to get shot in the arm or take shrapnel. Oh my jaw! No, no! Oh my goodness, dude, he's been killed. All right, so now we got to get on him, right? Open up your medical menu. Now, as you can see, he's bleeding, so you'd want to apply a tourniquet. I don't know if you want to do this again, so he can give it a shot. So I'll show him first.
Ow.
So now that he's tourniqueted, no, he's not going to lose any blood from that limb. So if there were other limbs, we'd have to tourniquet he'd continue bleeding. Now that he has 3 large velocity wounds, we're going to use packing. 2 large avulsions, we're going to use elastic. So go ahead and do that. And that massive red line on the leg means that he needs a splint. Now, when you see that, if it's on an arm, it means that your aiming is going to be terrible. It's going to look like you just ran half a marathon, and now you're trying to aim steadily and not going to be able to shoot whatsoever. So that's that on the arm. On the leg, it means he won't be able to sprint. So he'll either have to be carried if he's knocked, or he's going to have to walk, pretty much.
And essentially, I'm actually surprised that he woke up, probably just because we got to him so quickly.
Yeah.
But, if he's got a tourniquet on him or he's got a broken, anything, it's going to be a lot harder for his chances of waking up is going to go down significantly because he's in a lot of pain. And so, if you see him in severe pain, you might hit him, with a morphine, maybe, but most of the time we don't use morphine at all because it can really just ruin people's life.
Yeah,
Just leave that to the medics.
Yeah, I would recommend if you want to learn why we don't use morphine that much, you hit me or one of the other trainers up, and we'll explain why. There's been times where people aren't aware that they've already had morphine, and the medic will give them morphine, and they'll be out for 15 minutes because their heart doesn't want to start.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
You gotta hit him with an epi at that point.
Yep.
yeah, no, the thing with that though is the epis don't counter morphine as well. So you need like I think it's like 2 epis to 1 morphine.
2 to 1, pretty much.
I think it is, yeah.
We use adenosine whenever we want to lower someone's heart rate instead of morphine because it seems to be a lot more controllable.
We recommend that everyone take CLS, which is just our combat lifesaver deal. You can take that, anytime after you get to CRC, which you will be as soon as we're done here. I highly recommended just for extra medical information. So, anyway, keep going, Lizzie.
All right. Now, I don't know if you saw, but when you were patching him up on the overview, it was showing how much blood he lost. It was showing how much pain he was in, and obviously it showed the injuries, and the injuries were orange or like a pinkish red. If he's lost some blood, that means he's not blood knocked. Wake up on his own, but obviously that's you don't want to lose blood in the first place, so that's an issue. But just know that if you do get somebody stable, their heart rate's going and all that, and they've lost some blood, you can just leave them and they'll wake up. Like they said with morphine, if you're in pain, honestly, just deal with it or let a medic, because I've done it before to myself and I've passed out and gone to cardiac arrest, and then I've died. And
The big source for people being down, generally for us, is they've lost their heart rate. So after you stabilize them, generally just click on their chest, check their pulse, and then if they don't have one, then it's time to start CPR.
Unless you're a medic as well, you're not going to see the exact heart rate. So if I check your pulse, it'll say like it should be at 80. So that's just resting in ARMA. Oh, I don't have medperms, but yeah. When you do it and you don't have medperms, it's just gonna say either weak, normal, or strong. So that's just a heads up.
And then under the pain, under the blood, you saw the injuries, and then you saw once they were patched how they turned pink. That means that they can reopen, and they will reopen if you don't get a stitch in time. So, for example, those avulsions would have opened probably around 3 minutes after, if no medic showed up, 1 to 3 minutes ish, depending on like how he's moving and all that. But once you get stitched, they'll gray out. You don't have to worry about them anymore. So those are just some extra, I guess, extra medical information that you can get. Obviously, you already know about morphine and epinephrine. Morphine is pain relief, and it decreases the heart rate, and epinephrine increases the heart. So just keep that in mind. So you're going to hear what's called an ACE report or an ACE check. ACE stands for Ammunition Casualty Equipment Report, or ACE check is how you're going to hear it 9 times out of 10. So when this is called, it's either the medic or the squad lead calling it. Pretty much. So if you're green, you have either full ammo to almost half ammo with very light wounds or no wounds at all. And if you're AT, it means you have 4 more rockets left. Right now, we would all obviously be green. Then there would be yellow, which is half to around 11% of total ammunition. Medium wounding, but it's manageable, so you're not going to need a medic or anything like that. And same thing, 4 rockets left less. And then red is 10% to 1% of total ammunition. Casualties would be like heavy, so heavy wounding. You're going to need medical attention, and you would have pretty much no rockets. So I'd say like 2 or less would go for red, 1 or less. But that's only if you're an AT call. That you have to keep that in the back of your mind.
Yeah, medics also have equipment aces as well. We'll be told like, hey, how much? What's your equipment ace? And I'll relay that to my medics. I'll be like, hey, this is to Mike. What's your equipment ace? Then they'll relay back to me like, hey, I'm low on blood, or I'm yellow on blood, or red on blood, or I'm black, which means I'm out of blood, which is important for us because in the battle we're obviously giving you guys blood to keep you guys awake whenever you guys go down. So that's another thing to keep in mind if you go to the medical field. But yeah, green, yellow, red, and black.
So that's the end of basic medical. Radio is next. For me to keep
Rev.
going, or you want
Nah,
Rev?
Rev's got it.
Okay, so if you do Control P for me, that opens up your radio. Which one do you have, by the way? Do you have the CWP or do you have just the normal Armor 3 radio?
I have the 152.
Okay, cool. So at the top, if you see the antenna, not the very long one, the middle one, if you right click that, it increases your volume. If you left click that, that decreases your volume. That's the only thing on top of the radio that you can mess with. If you want to set a frequency, you would just clear out the current frequency. So it should say C1. If you left click and hold it and go to the right, you could just hit the back button. It'll clear out the numbers. And I want you, for the purposes of training, to type in 104. Then the little enter button you see on the radio itself, I want you to click that, and that will set your frequency. So after that, close your radio with escape, and then just check if it works.
He doesn't have T4 enabled, so it's not going to go.
Okay.
Oh, here, let me re-enable it. Option.
It sounds like he's in T4 though.
I checked it at the beginning. It wasn't on.
Okay.
Oh, it says it's on.
Yeah, no, it sounds on.
That's strange.
Check if the radio works.
Sable signing into 104.
Good check. Yeah, it's on.
Maybe. Oh, it says everyone's off because mine is off. Never mind. I'm stupid.
Okay, so
Ignore me. I don't know what I'm talking about.
if you want to set up an additional, this is primarily for team leads and squad leads and stuff like that. Also, medics have an additional. You want to go to the bottom right where it says free. Click the plus sign part of it, so it's the next channel. You should go to C2. Erase that freak and type in 333 for me and set it. And then the arrow that's going to the left at the middle of the radio, you want to click that. It'll say set additional channel. So click that, and then it should switch over to A2. Then right next to that, you want to go to stereo settings, and you want to make sure you click that twice, so it says additional right only. That means the frequency will be going through your right ear. Then you want to go back to your previous channel, which is where it says pre with the minus sign. Click that. It should be C1. Go back to stereo settings and make that left only.
The button you never want to press is speakers.
Yeah, don't ever do that. It's bad.
Oh yes, the infamous speakers.
So after that, you wanna
If you want everyone to hate you,
test.
then press that button. You're gonna be an unliked man in the unit.
So to access your additional radio, you would push T. So you want to demonstrate that real quick for me?
Sable signing into 333.
Yeah, Lima. So yep, that's pretty much it with radios. You want to talk in third person when you're in a squad. So, like for example, they ask for an ace check. You want to say Revenant's green, Revenant's yellow, or Revenant's red. Then yeah, so you don't ever want to say I'm green because if you're not around a lot, because a lot of guys come to one op a week, which is our platoon op. If you don't know their voice, no one really knows who's speaking. So just make sure you kind of talk in third person. Obviously, if I'm standing right next to you, I don't want to be talking on the radio because that's just pointless. And yeah, that's pretty much it, I believe, for radio. Oh, never mind. I lied. Uh, yeah, whenever you're looking at something, make sure you're giving out clear bearings. Like, don't just say, "Hey, it's over there," because no one knows where that is. You know, you have the direction you're looking at on your compass, so you want to announce enemy contact bearing 86, droid contact AAT contact bearing 86. You want to make sure you're using north, south, east, or west, and using landmarks as well. Like for example, I could say there's multiple droid contacts by the Vulture droid northeast bearing 66.
Shortcut for your GPS, just so you always have it up, is the brackets on either side. You can get it popped up on the side of your screen. The mine detector thing doesn't work, so don't worry about that.
Also, if you ever hear someone say break, break, break over the radio, that means basically shut up because they have something that's very, very important to say. Because sometimes you'll have moments where you guys are just talking over the SR because you guys are kind of far apart. Then someone will be like, "Hey, like there's something about to happen," so break, break, break. But yeah, that is it for radio.
We're not going to run you through the test. I mean, you've got a lot of hours in Arma. You're in other units. We know you know how to fire a weapon and do medical. So we'll let you skip that portion there. But Glizzy will talk to you about, steps after BCT and kind of how that works. And then we'll let you go.
All
Cool.
right. So as a CRC, there are two calls you can get. One being medical, so you'll speak to this man if you want that, and then one being RTO. And I'm gonna give you a tip right now: do not add the RTOs in the qualification chat, bro. They will not respond. Reach out to them personally. All right, like just
Yeah,
find somebody who has RTO trainer. Yeah, I did mine with Aiden, so he's a pretty cool guy. I would
yeah, he's
recommend him.
probably the most active trainer in RTO, so you want to hit him
Yeah,
up.
definitely. So obviously, if you go to medical, you're going to be doing medical things. You're going to be doing blood and all that good stuff. RTO, if you don't know what one is, which I'm sure you do, just a long range radio telephone operator. You'll get in contact with Asgard, with Valkyrie, which are pretty much for artillery and CAS, medevacs, stuff like that. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. After that, once you get to CT, you'll get weapon calls. So then you'll get like AT support, marksman, engineer if you want it. But some calls will require other ones. Like engineer, you need to be RTO qualified before you can go for engineer. Same thing if
RTO is kind of the gateway to a lot of things. If you want to be
Mm-hmm.
an engineer, a pilot, if you want to be an NCO, you have to have RTO. It's recommended for Zeus training. So, just something that you probably want to get on your radar eventually, unless you just are planning on being a basic trooper for your entire life in the unit, which is
Mm-hmm.
nothing wrong with that either, I don't guess.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get all the quals.
Atta
Yes.
boy.
And for for soft as well, you're gonna need RTO.
Yeah, so right now the only soft attachment we have is ARF. Unfortunately, they're going to do a selection pretty soon, and you need to get slotted if you were wanting to go to ARF, just so you become a senior trooper to get into ARF, because that's one of the requirements as well. So you might not make this selection, but there'll be future selections that you could attend. If you're looking to get slotted, our platoon ups every Sunday at 3 Eastern. I know we have. I have personally 2 medic slots available. There is an engineer slot. If you're hoping to go pilot, unfortunately those slots are full now. So you could always join one MOS, and whenever that pilot slot opens, you could always feel free to transfer. That's not a problem either. So don't feel like just because you don't want to be a you can't be a pilot now and you join something else, you can't go back to it later. You could always transfer.
It's a lot easier to move laterally too. We generally promote from people that are slotted within the platoon before we go look at like the reservists and things like that. So like if you're showing up, and you're slotted and things of that nature, that's kind of where we go first.
Yeah, typical unit stuff.
Yeah, right. And so there's some trooper slots open in 1-1, and like you said, medic engineer I think is what we have open right now. There's going to be an RTO slot open pretty soon, um, and so yeah, there's quals for pretty much everything. That once you get to CT, you can get a lat qual, and if we don't have enough, like let's just say you're interested in being a pilot, if we don't have the required amount of pilots for a platoon op, people with a lat qual can then fly with the pilots and things of that nature. So there's ways to do those things without being committed into it all the time. You want to drive one of these fancy vehicles. Um, get the engineer qual, and if they don't have enough engineers to man the vehicle, then they start asking for people with the qual, and then you could step up and do it. Things of that nature, right? Um, don't want to be a medic all the time. Get CLS, and you can fill in for them, et cetera, right?
Right.
So you don't have to lock yourself down to an MOS or anything like that if that's not what you want to do all the time.
Let me tell you, bro, being a hoe with quals, dude, probably the best thing I've ever done. I can run
Yeah,
what I want, when I want,
basically.
how I want it. Not really, but like
Yeah,
lot,
so
lot of
like I'm
variation.
in the first MU Halo unit within my like first day. I did my BCT, then did all my quals.
That's awesome. We're moving. We don't have any of the MOS quals, but like Zeus has already moved over. We're moving to a system where we record the qual, and so you can just watch it at your leisure, and then you meet up with a trainer to take the test and just answer questions to prove that you actually listened and watched the video. So that makes it a lot easier to receive quals. You can get them on your own time, whereas you don't have to spend time with the trainer. Or if you don't like that approach, you can still request training and stuff like that. But we're trying to move to that system just to make it easier on everybody.
Wow, that's new. I actually haven't heard of that before.
Yeah, we want to teach you how to do it, so you can watch that happen, and then you can get on and practice as much as you feel like you need to practice, and then you can show up and take the test. So, um, I think that's going to be really good for us. It really helps things like that are long trainings, like Zeus is, an hour and a half. RTO is about an hour and a half, and we still can't cover everything that you want to cover in those two things in an hour and a half. So I think it really helps with stuff like that. You can go a little bit faster, and if people need to rewind to listen to what you said, they can do that. So that's a big, um, or reference it later, I guess. So
But I mean, that's pretty much it for your next steps, dude. Just
Yeah.
get
Oh,
committed, get
your
CT, and
path to
get your quals.
CT is now we just recently changed it. It takes 2 weeks. So 2 weeks from now,
Oh
you
yeah.
will be a CT from
2 weeks
Monday.
from now, you'll be eligible to take what we call CTC, which is another like
Oh
30
yeah, I
minute
forgot.
to 45-minute training. And it's basically we're teaching you how to work on a fire team. We're teaching you about the jump pack, which is everyone in the unit is qualified to use the jump pack. Our general infantry runs it in the platoon ops every week.
Sweet.
So we'll teach you how to operate within a fire team, or our expectations of you operating within a fire team. I guess how to use the jump pack. More like tactics type training, things of that nature. I think breaching and clearing is in there. Securing HVTs is in there. What else? That's it, I think.
I'm pretty sure that's it.
So it's just another quick training, probably quicker than this one actually. Um, and then once you complete that, you get CT, and the world opens up for you, as Glizzy said, all the quals and things of that nature. So
Like, yeah, man.
Awesome.
that'll be 2 weeks from today. He gets to change anything on his kit since he's going to be a CRC.
Yes.
We should do that for him real
Yeah, let
quick.
me
So
check
he'll.
real quick.
Let's go. We'll go over there, get you your new kit, and then we'll peace
Oh,
out.
look, this is what I'm talking about. See this glitch right here, bro? Take out your weapon, and then you do it, and then look, now I'm chilling, dude. I don't know why it happens, but it,
That's pretty funny.
yeah, dude. Speak of the devil, bro. But now you get to see it in action. So if it ever happens, just take out your weapon, Control C, put it away, then
Now
you're
you
chilling.
get to see it in action. He says.
Yeah, another trick around that. I don't know if it'll work for that necessarily one, but it's pretty much the same thing. But sometimes you just like it glitches out and it thinks you're zoomed in still, so it's gonna keep you at that walking pace. That's how I fixed it. I didn't know about your way until just now.
Okay. Oh no, dude, it's whack.
So
But I'm
now I
built
feel like
different,
we
so
can conquer all of it now.
Hey man, the more people you get together, the more tricks that you'll find out.
I can't, man.
Exactly.